whole lot about him. But I hated his. Why? Because it was just like they didn't want us dating for some reason. Now me, I'm pretty much an introverted, kind of chill, shy girl, and he was more of an outspoken, charismatic, out there kind of person, right? But for some reason, his family hated us together. Like I would come around, his girl cousins would say stuff to try to bully me, or they'll say stuff out of the way. And me, now quiet as I am, I ain't no punk, okay? So eventually I was like, if if I'm around these people and I'm turning up, like I'm ready to look and book. Left my relationship with somebody that I really loved and cared for. That's one of the reasons. There were more, but his family was just too much. He would be with me. His mom would constantly call. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, where y'all at? What you doing? I'm like, we are grown. What is wrong with y'all? So, do I feel like sometimes family and friends cause relationships to end? Absolutely. I started dating after that, and I'm 32, and I was talking to a guy who was 40. So, he was recently divorced and he had two children, and we were just, talking, getting to know each other, trying to plan a date and everything. But one thing that was like a red flag to me was he would always be with his mom. And he always say something like, yeah, my mom. And to me, that was just a red flag. Why? Because why your mama trying to force you to be married? I was so bad. No, and I'm like, well, what happened in your marriage? And he was like, oh, she was just listening to her friends. And I'm thinking to myself, like, nah, your mama had a hand in that. I don't care what you say. Because you just, everything, your mom, your mom, your mom, your mom. Like, dude, you're 40. Why are you talking about your mama so much? But yeah, so I definitely think that family and friends can negatively impact your relationship. So I personally, I kind of just keep my relationships to myself. No one really knows who I'm dating unless I want them to know. Unless I feel like I have that connection with them where they won't be problematic. Because what happens when we are too open in our relationships, I think that we start talking about what's going on, and now our relatives are looking at our person sideways. So for example, um, so let's say Jody and I are going through a hard time in a relationship, and I'm just talking to my sister. Yeah, Jody did this, Jody did that, Jody. So now my sister, when my sister sees Jody, she's giving him the side eye. Like, you really was doing my sister bad, or you really were doing this and that, right? And I'm like, oh, don't worry about that, sis. Jody and I are back together. We worked through that. So that's one of the reasons why I just don't like talking too much about my relationship or having people too much in my business, because y'all get back together and y'all have smooth things out, but your relatives are now like side eyeing this person like, I haven't forgot. I ain't forgot what you said. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing why I'm not really too heavy on having people involved in my relationship. And two, now I'm learning the value of privacy. Um, if I'm in a relationship, I'm keeping things private. You won't know who I'm dating officially until we pop out married. Like, well, Angel Reese, until we until we pop out married, like it's private until permanent. Okay, and then I'm still cutting it because you don't need to know too much about him. So that's just me. I don't like to have my family too much in my business. Just out of respect for my relationship and for myself. I hate gossip too. People are ready to tell every little thing. Oh, girl, they broke up because of this. I know. So yeah, y'all comment down below. Have you ever had family members or friends that were just too involved in your relationship that you just had to end it, or has something like that similar ever happened to you? Comment down below.